Hey Mary, how you doing?
Hey, John. Good. How are you?
Good, good, good. I'm seeing we are recording.
Mhm.
This is happily placed, and we're using a Zoom video to bring this episode of Happily Placed to all of our fans in this time of really just uncertainty.
Right.
How you holding up in your stay at home stance in place? What do they call this thing?
hmm
Work from
Stay,
home.
stay home, save lives. We're doing okay.
Okay, I did. I
We're,
saw that on the way into work today.
yeah.
That's the way it's supposed to be. So,
This is
so
uh, this is unprecedented times for sure, but I
it
like
is.
we're all working together here.
We are
Yeah.
absolutely, and as on the employment side of things, we're seeing a lot of video interviews,
hmm
and so Mary and I were talking, and we did receive actually a question from Bob at well, I don't know where Bob worked. Where'd Bob work?
Mm,
Bob wasn't working. It was actually just a question to us about video interviews.
right.
And so, sorry, the days are blending together and the
They are.
emails, it's hard to keep up.
hmm
Um, but the question was, are video interviews a thing? Is this are these meetings? Is this kind of the way of the future, at least as far as the immediate future,
hmm
for the job seeker? And what do you think, Mary?
Yes. Well, whether it's phone interview or Zoom interview, it's here to stay for the foreseeable future. And I know it's a lot different than an in-person face-to-face interview, and that's why we want to talk about how to prepare slightly differently for phone interview and virtual interviews.
Sure. No, absolutely. I have found. Sorry. See, this is what happens in a phone video conference like this. There's construction in the building next to me and the space next to me. So
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you can hear that, but there's a drill like right
A
over my
little
head,
bit, a little
a little
bit.
bit. But we're
Luckily, the
gonna
hail stopped here, so it's not as loud. But it sounded like pellets were hitting the windows. People
just
were throwing things at the windows.
the house is under siege. So
Yeah,
so
exactly.
so what's great about this is these things happen during
hmm
phone interviews, and
Sure.
so the key is not to do what we've just done, uh, but to stay focused and
Right.
pretend you're not hearing. Now, there are some exceptions, like if a horse runs through your living room, like a pony. Okay,
That's
that's
something to talk about.
then you just like all bets are off. But
Right.
if you hear some hail or maybe a drill, I
Mhm.
think that might be a Dremel I'm hearing. It's a small drill.
Yeah.
Um, I'm the least handy guy on the planet though, so I wouldn't know a drill from a hammer. Um, but aside from that, the whole key, I think, and Mary, you can chime in on this about being prepared. So
hmm
let's take a phone interview. Phone
hmm
interviews, yeah, you're calling the candidate for an interview. What should the candidate have in front of them prior to starting?
Their resume.
Yeah,
Their
exactly.
resume. That way, because we're going to be walking through your experiences, so being prepared with that and being able to just reference it really quick is important.
Yeah, I agree. The other part of the phone interview, I believe, is really important is to showcase your skills.
hmm
Because really in a phone interview, what's cool about a phone interview, actually even over video, is it's really 100% skill based.
Yeah.
You're really
Right.
digging into that experience. You're talking about your accomplishments.
hmm
You're really trying to bring that interviewer into your painting a picture, really, basically, of your career.
Exactly.
And so you want to be prepared for that.
hmm
How about what are your thoughts on video?
Video, as you can see, I should have covered this. Make sure that the background is
Oh, this over here,
yeah, that. Yeah.
that.
Yeah, just make sure that it's a quiet environment, number one. Number
Right.
two, make sure you don't have people behind you or things that will distract the interviewer from you, and the screen.
I agree.
Make sure to check before you start the interview, make sure to check your audio, make sure that's working,
Well,
make sure
test,
your
test, one,
video's
two, three.
working, right? you don't want to spend the first 10 minutes of your interview trying to figure that out.
Exactly. How about things like taking a drink of coffee during an interview?
Don't do that.
I was really thirsty, Mary.
You wouldn't do it in an in-person interview. Just act as if this is an in-person interview. You know, dress the part. You can wear, don't tell anybody, but you can wear pajama pants as long as you can't see them. But wear,
I like it.
Dress up, you know, dress as you would for an interview.
Well, kind of along the same example, but not quite, but over the weekend, we had a Zoom happy hour basically with friends. And I put on a sport coat, you know, to just dress it up for the occasion.
Exactly.
It was great. Now I was wearing shorts, so that was a little weird.
Right.
I'm just helping build the case for my family when they lock me up somewhere. But that's all right. But you're right though. Dress just like you're going to be in person.
Right.
The other thing, kind of a trick that I'm having to learn this actually, but to look right at your camera. So on your computer, typically there's a little light, you know, that comes on, and you kind of want to look towards that versus kind of looking around the room, and you know, so you want to kind of be focused and have that eye contact.
Yep.
Yeah.
Now I hope you realize I'm looking at you and not the camera.
Really?
No.
I couldn't tell. You're so straight on. It's incredible.
It is incredible.
Man, it's just fancy.
Tricks of the trades being at home for a week.
You got it down. You got it down. And again, but also have your resume even with video.
Absolutely.
I think that's key. Excuse me, I'm going to do something I shouldn't do during this, but I had a pop-up come up on the screen. It was distracting from, you know, what we're doing here. So you have the resume in front, and then I think both in phone interview and during video interview, again, kind of go for that close we talk about. So Mary, give me an example of the interview's over, you know, how do you conclude it as a candidate?
So John, I really appreciate your time today. This has been eye-opening, and I'm even more excited about this opportunity the more I've learned about it. You know, what are next steps? When should I anticipate hearing from you next?
Perfect.
Close it.
Close the deal. I like it. I like it. And then maybe make yourself available for a second interview, either via video or phone.
Right.
I think the key in today's job market, and it changed. We all know this has changed so dramatically. Flexibility is really is the key. You got to kind of stay loose a little bit, and just be prepared to you know, maybe do that interview at 5:30 at night. You know, I mean, it's just we're in a different business climate right now, and so I think, you know, the more flexible and available folks are, you know, really the better.
Yeah.
And
I agree.
Yeah. Any parting words for today's life lesson on video interviewing?
Just keep it positive, and if you have any other questions for us, you know how to email us, how to get to us. We'd be happy to answer your questions. That's right. Yep. happilyplaced at emeraldstaffing.com. We will, I think we'll, this is our first, you know, Zoom Happily Placed. I'm feeling good about it. We will, we'll try to do this, you know, once a week as things are, you know, you know, coming to us, ideas or questions, and you know, our goal is to help, you know, folks that have been, you know, unfortunately displaced with all of this to get back to work as quickly as possible, and hopefully this will help in some way. Definitely. All right. Well, thanks, Mary. Thank you. Okay, let me hit stop recording now so we can talk about how great we are. Hold on.